Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to review Real Housewives of Lagos season 3. So I'm going to be doing this review episode by episode so that I can give my opinions on what had happened in each episode, right? This episode opens with the history between Caroline and Laura in season 1. Now, what can I say about the issue of Laura and Caroline? If you actually look at it carefully, right, we see that Laura is not actually a bad person. The thing is that she's been fixed in a tight spot because of her being Linda's sister, right? And because she's Linda's sister, it's definitely going to affect her relationship with everybody that she meets. That's what I'm going to say. So it's not like I see both of them are bad, but they are being put in a tight spot. So it shows Miriam going to this designer, Emmanuel, to pick up a dress. And she picked this blue dress. The designer is very good. She receives a message from Laura. Laura invited her for the 1 year anniversary of her store, of the store that she opened last season. There was a part where Miriam said that in this season, it's all about being happy Miriam.
I hope it's good energy because this year it's all about the happy Miriam.
And I thought to myself, okay, maybe Mariam is going to give us something different this season. She's going to be cool and she's going to be calmer in this season. That was my honest opinion when she made that statement. The next thing, it shows Caroline reintroducing herself. And I like that sentence, yes, I'm back.
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, she's really back and I'm happy that she's back. Laura and Mariam meet at this restaurant and Laura, explains the reason why she had called Miriam. Because Miriam is in PR, she wanted Miriam to help invite people to the 1 year anniversary of her store, and she also wanted to launch a new line of her hair. I think it's microblading. Microblading is what it's called, right? So they get to talking and they start asking themselves, what have you seen since the last time we were on this show? Laura asked Miriam if she has seen twin.
I love you, Laura. But in order for you to be having meetings like this with me, there's some conversation I do not want to have. And that name is one of it.
Anyway, that shows us that she hasn't settled what is between her and Twin, right? And Laura also asked if Miriam has seen Faith, and she just goes like, she and Faith are not in the same circle. And I thought everything was cool between the two of them, but that statement to me felt like Miriam wasn't cool with Faith yet. And they got to talking and gone to how they are going to organize the anniversary. And then it was when the chairs, right? There was something Miriam said.
Cheers. Cheers. You have to look into my eyes. 7 years of bad sex.
And I'm like, what is Miriam talking about? I was really confused. Is that like a myth or something? I don't get it. Even Laura had to ask, I guess it was also as confused as I was. Now Miriam, her character can be funny sometimes. Honestly speaking, there are some things she says and does that comes out as funny. So I found that one funny, and I had no idea what she was talking about. So after that, we're introduced to Diadem, whose full name is Adeola Chizoba Adeyemi. So she's the founder of Beauty by AD, right? And she tells us her story, her backstory, how she came about founding that business, how she started as a makeup artist, how she was a video vixen, how she's a single mother, what had happened with the person she was supposed to get married, and just told us about herself generally. Then we also see Laura's father, who was like actually babysitting his granddaughter. Yes, and we see Laura's new baby in this episode. Laura, they're giving her a name, Chanel.
Chanel is so cute. She's amazing. She makes me, very happy.
Say thank you, Grandpa. Thank you. Thank you, Grandpa.
So we see, and the baby is beautiful. Laura's baby is beautiful. I like her anyway. We're also introduced to Dabota, who also has a makeup line. That's Dabota Cosmetics, right? Dabota is an acquaintance to Miriam, right? So Miriam goes to Dabota's office, invites her for Laura's events, and they get to talking and all that. And it's in that office that Caroline calls Miriam and tells Miriam that she would like to trash out the differences that they had. We have clips from season 1 about the friction that they had. So I liked that honest conversation, because actually Caroline was telling one of her friends, Elizabeth, about her experience in season 1 and the people that she believes she owes an apology to. And Miriam's name came up, and that's when she called Miriam to tell her that she wants to sincerely make up. And I found that conversation honest, and I really like that about her. It takes a big person, right, to go back to tell someone that you're sorry for what you did and all that. So I really like that. Even Miriam acknowledged it later on in the episode, that she believes that it's a very honest thing from Caroline to want to mend broken bridges. They decide that they're going to continue communicating and all that, and the call ends. So after we've been introduced to Dabota, right, you see Miriam mentioned in her diary room, Laura is doing beauty. Dabota is also doing beauty.
This group of Dabota is doing beauty. Laura is doing beauty.
I was like, Miriam, why are you pointing it out? Although she's right, I agree with Miriam that she's right. Because why would the producers pitch or put 3 different beauty entrepreneurs on the same show? I can already tell that it's going to cause friction between the 3 of them. I already knew that. So, but Miriam mentioning it, I was like, she didn't have to mention it, but it's an obvious thing anyway. So why would they do that? Honestly, that's what I just asked myself. Why would they do that? What I'll say from observing Dabuta in her office, I'll say Dabuta has a cool demeanor that I like. So I like the way she carries herself. I like the way she talks and all that. So just putting it out there. The next thing shows Laura getting ready for the event. She comes like few minutes or few hours before it starts. So we see her getting everything ready, and then later on we see the guests coming in, and they just show a glimpse of Linda there. That's before any of the other housewives attend the event, right? So Diadem is the first person to come to the party, and Laura takes her to this area, right, where Diadem is entertained. And then we see another clip where Dabuta is calling Miriam on the phone, or rather, Dabuta calls Miriam on the phone to find out if she's there, because she didn't want to be the first person to attend, or maybe she'd get there and the event hadn't started yet. So she just wanted to be sure that it started before she got there. And Miriam told her that she was just pulling up at the event, right? So Dabuta said she'll be there very soon. Miriam is the next person that arrives. She meets Diadem at the event, and Diadem introduces herself and tells her that she's also a beauty entrepreneur, and that if Miriam wants all this glam.
Hey, I'm just Diola, Diadem. I'm a mom, you already know. I own a beauty brand, Beauty by AJ. Amazing products. If you want to get all this, glam, all this product I have on my face is from my brand. And
I felt a little bit cringe at that statement, because like I've established earlier, and like Miriam had said earlier, right, putting beauty entrepreneurs together on the show definitely is going to cause some sort of friction, because that kind of situation is a tricky situation. Diadem is also into cosmetics. Laura is there at a cosmetics store. And when you're doing business, it's only normal for you to want to advertise your own business. I don't know if you get it. So for Diadem to have said, if you want this glue and you want to contact, it's a form of adverts, and it's probably something that she has been saying for 11 years that she has been in the business. So such things, I don't know how these three women are going to handle it this season. The three of them having the same business, I don't know how they are going to handle it. It's a very tricky situation. So Miriam and Diadem, they get to talking, and Miriam just, she just tells us in her clip that she believes Diadem is going to fit in well with the housewives. So they just got to talking like it's not like they really know each other like that. They were talking, and the discussion between Miriam and Diadem, it got to a point that I watching that discussion, I was feeling uncomfortable, because Miriam was asking some really, really personal questions, and she was just firing the questions at Diadem. Like it honestly looked like an interview session. Okay, are you married? Oh, you're not married. What happened? Why was the engagement called off? Are you the problem? I was uncomfortable. Like, I feel like these are not the questions that you ask somebody you're just meeting for the first time. I don't know if you get it. But the way I was saying Diadem, like, she didn't mind. She was just answering casually. She was just free. So if she was okay with it, then who am I to complain, right? And then there was this question Miriam asked.
With your father's daughter? Yeah, my father's daughter, yeah.
I was quite confused about that question. And, because the questions were coming quickly, Diadem also answered, yes, it's with my father's daughter. It was later on in the episode I later got that what Miriam meant was, is it with your daughter's father? English can be tricky like that. The two of them mean totally different things. Your daughter's father and your father's daughter, they can mean different things. So, but anyway, I guess Miriam wasn't bothered about asking or arranging the words correctly. She was bothered about firing the questions. Like, honestly, it was an uncomfortable situation. I feel like it shows lack of social etiquette, right? So, and in the midst of their discussion, I noticed that Laura will sit with the housewives. She'd entertain them, she'd excuse herself, and then go attend to customers and other people attending the event. Like, what it showed me was that Laura is actually a very good host. I like that she was able to manage her time between the different groups of people that were there. So I really noticed that she's a very good host. So it was in this event that Mariam told Laura that Caroline had called her, and they'd had the discussion that they had, and she told Laura that she didn't invite Caroline for the event because she wanted Laura and Caroline to trash out the differences between them because she felt it would be rude to invite Caroline without letting Laura know first. And so that's when they show us a clip of what the fight between Laura and Caroline in season 1, and Laura started to explain the damage that Caroline's accusation had caused her and all that. They really had this heart-to-heart talk, and she was remembering everything. And she had even said Laura had even said that she couldn't really explain how she felt about Caroline. All that matters is that she wants to see Caroline, and then they know how they take it from there. Dabuta was the last person to attend this event, and immediately Dabuta walks into the event. She sees the housewives, she sees Diadem, and the way they greeted each other like they are close friends, like people that are quite close, unlike Dabuta and Miriam that are just acquaintances. we can see that Diadem and Dabuta are actually close friends. You know. Even I was surprised. Laura and Miriam were also surprised as well. Dabuta and Diadem, they kept laughing, kept talking. And in the diary room, Miriam makes this comment that she can see a Chioma and the Yabo kind of friendship here. But the question is, who is the godmother and who is the goddaughter? I was just like, what does Miriam have against female friendships? No, let me rephrase. What does Miriam have against close female friendships? That was how she, in season 2, she kept asking about the friendship between Faith and Laura. And then now, I can see that she wants to focus that same energy on Dabuta and Diadem. Like, just let them be. And friendships are friendships. Nobody has to be a godmother. Nobody has to be a goddaughter. I don't know why that comment came out. But I was like, I just hope Miriam is not going to pursue this in this season. Honestly, I'm getting scared for Dabuta and Diadem. Then there was this conversation that came up, and Dabuta calls Diadem a baddie, and Diadem says she's not a baddie. And Dabuta kept emphasizing that she was a baddie. And I just started to wonder what was going on in that situation, right? I guess it will be explained later on in the season. Because, I don't know, it will be explained later on. Honestly, it sounds like something that's going to bring up an issue between the two of them. You know what I mean? Like, when you're calling somebody something that they don't like, they don't associate with that, and you keep emphasizing it, definitely it's going to piss you off. So I'm suspecting that this issue of being a baddie is going to become a very big thing in the town. But let's wait and see. So Laura asks Miriam if Dabuta knows that Caroline contacted her. And Miriam explained that actually Caroline called her when she was in Dabuta's office. And I like the way Dabuta just came clean immediately and just said, I don't have any issues with Caroline. So I don't know, there's definitely something there. Maybe probably Laura thinks that Caroline and Dabuta have had issues in the past, but Dabuta has already come back to explain she doesn't have any issues with Caroline. So let's see if that's going to become something big later on. Okay, then the issue of the price of Laura's hair came up. Laura said one pack of hair is $120. And the housewives, they just kept mentioning exchange rates. And I was like, this thing really hit everybody. It touched everybody at the end of the day. Because that's what they were just talking about, exchange rates. And Dabuta actually bought 2 packs for $450. Dabuta explains that she's from Rivers State, just like Fake Mori, right? But Fake Mori is Ikwere, while Dabuta is Calabari. So, and many just really wanted to establish that. Oh, yeah, from the same place with Fake Mori, right? These things are not necessary. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe we don't know why Miriam is mentioning that, but honestly, personally, I think these things are not necessary. So what if the both of them are from the same state? So what? They can actually be friends because of that, and they might not even like each other because of that. So it doesn't really mean anything when you meet someone that is from your state. I don't know if we get it right. Dabuta is also explaining and introducing her business to the housewives. She talked about how she has makeup. She sells makeup, she has skincare, she has a spa and whatnot. Actually, she says she makes body care that actually fits the face care. And stuff like that. She explained that her products is for minimalists and whatnot, just those technologies that beauticians use. And then, after Dabuta explains everything, the comments Laura makes.
Yeah, but we have everything here. Everything.
That comment, like I said, these 3 women have been put there and it's a tricky situation. So one person can say something that normally doesn't really mean anything, but the other 2 women will read it as something else. So in the diary room, Laura states that she doesn't want to choose to vibe with either of the 2 new housewives. That's either Dabuta or Diadem. That because she could decide to vibe with one housewife, and the housewife will disrespect her later on. So she'd rather just vibe with both of them at the same time. And that is a very good decision to make. Whereas Miriam has already started establishing that she'd vibe with Diadem. And Diadem was already saying she'd vibe with Laura and she'd vibe with Dabuta. I don't know if you see what's going on there. So I really like Laura's decision. That's the best decision to take in that kind of situation. You don't choose anybody at the beginning because you really don't know all these people yet. You have to finish the whole season before you are very sure of who you want to vibe with, right? So that brings us to the end of episode 1. These are my thoughts for episode 1. So let's wait to see what comes out in episode 2. That's the end of this review. See you in the next one. Bye.
I'm an introvert, but if they find my trouble,
No, duh.